Bitcoin just broke 229K like it is nothing. Bitcoin just started 29,300 and 29,400 and kissed it and then pulled back. As I'm talking to you, it is rightly on 29,300, telling you that Bitcoin just broke my box. Bitcoin just broke my box. I'm talking to you and I'm telling you that Bitcoin is about to run all the way to a major move to 33K to 32K zone. So if I take my arrow here and I bring it down here, you see the last time that Bitcoin broke my box was here, right? So you have it here, right? This is my box, right? The last time it broke above the wage, right? It broke above the wage. That was the accumulation that it has, and it broke above the wage, giving us a major move, then pull back to test the breakout, then before it started making its way up right now as it's moving. So if I take this arrow and I place it here, you're going to see that we're going to have at least 22,800, approximately 23,300 move from Bitcoin for me, which is fantastic. I am Machiavelli Trader. If you've not subscribed, do subscribe so that you wouldn't miss any notification on analysis on Bitcoin and daily altcoin recommendations that we give all the time. Thank you for joining me on this New Year Day as we analyze Bitcoin after breaking the 29,400. It tested it, right? It tested above it, right? It's a strong resistance. Now, mind you, the main resistance is at 29,500, but that won't be anything because it's going to break above it. That's why we are having this accumulation. It's like a pre-breakout tension where you have this sideways accumulation of price trying to gather the strength to take that move to hit that move, right? So we're likely going to keep seeing this upward move continue from the beginning of January. This upward pressure, right? Because if you look closely, you see that volume as well as keep up or kept up English. Sorry, my English, sorry, it's not so perfect, but as long as I'm making communication here and you're understanding what I'm trying to say, is that Bitcoin is going to the moon. The step-by-step move that has been taken since the beginning of last quarter of 2020 has been fantastic, right? So from the beginning of October, you see that Bitcoin started this journey breakout from the 10K zone, and it started this step-by-step big boy move. You feel it? This big boy move without much pullback, like 45% pullback. It has this sideways. It's not rushing. It just keep going. But whenever it takes the move, you feel it. That's the move that Bitcoin has been exacting. And as it's moving, you see it's making this higher highs, higher lows, which is a bullish market structure. If you're good, if you really understand if you know what price action is, let me redraw that clearly. So let me zoom in so that you see what I mean. If you follow the step by step move, you will understand that market has been making this upward movement, right, in a staircase manner, right? So if I take my drawing, you see it's like this: price comes, it touches the upper trend line, it goes back, touches the lower trend line, it still goes up, touches the upper trend line. You see, it moves beside it, it came back, it touched the lower trend line. Did you see that? So you saw the move that it's making, then it came to this place, and then first of all gathered some strength. This is the strength it gathered before it broke above it. It broke out from this sideways movement, right? And when it broke out, it came back to retest it, right? It came back to retest it, gathered some strength, and then started the move to the upside, right? That's what we're seeing. So this is a clear bullish market structure. And the good thing is that even as of this point, Bitcoin is still respecting this market structure. Because if you come here, you see that the staircase reputation thing is still going on, right? So you have this measured move going on here. So if I take this my arrow here and put it here, you see that the staircase, if I can create a box right now in this zone, you see the reputation of the same pattern has been building on for quite some time in Bitcoin, right? So it breaks out of one sideways, it forms another one, it comes back to retest it, then it breaks out again from that one. So you see the box, so you see the resistance. This is where the breakout happens. So right, it broke out of it, then it had another sideways, it broke out of it, but it is a measured move. So if I take my measured move from one box to another, you see they are almost equal, right? So you see it. So that's exactly the same thing we're going to have here, right? So we're going to see another sideways movement happening around 23K to 22K, between 30K to and 23K zone. There's going to be a sideways movement. When price gets to that 30K whole number, it is also going to react. So we're going to likely see this staircase move going on for most beginning of January before we're going to see that retest. Now, we are likely going to see something like this happening. Now, here everybody shouting 100K. And some people ask me, are we going to see 100K from here? Believe in me, it's not going to be an easy one. I'm not saying it's not going to be possible, but I'm saying it's not going to be an easy run. Why? Because a big retest is waiting on the weekly. So if I go to the weekly chart, it looks deadly. It looks very, very deadly, right? So you see it's a straight up movement, right? There's no retest. You can see the gap on the 20 exponential moving average right here. You can see this is the 20 exponential moving average, and it's hovering around the 17K zone, right? So, and it's been a straight movement, right? So even if price have a sideways movement that just happened, it could likely go one side for some time, then make a move to at most a measured move, another measured move to a measured move. It broke out from 19K to 20K and gave us 29K. So we could be seeing around 39K to 40K zone, at most 50, before it comes back. I don't even think it's going to get to that point, right? It's not going to get to that point because it's likely going to close this gap. It's likely going to try to close this gap, right? It's going to try to close this gap we're having here, right? By retesting this 20 exponential moving average before going all the way to that 50K, right? This is what I am thinking will happen. It gets to that 33K to 35K zone, comes back, it retests the 20 exponential moving average before it keeps the journey going, right? Oh, I'm not the most perfect drawer artist on YouTube, so please do bear with me. But it's going, the rocket move is going to be like that. That's how Bitcoin plans to launch this rocket move that it has here, right? The rocket move is likely going to be like this, right? Goes up, comes back, it tests the 17K zone, and then it takes off. So I'm likely seeing around that 35K resistance being strong. From that 33K to 35K, there will be a reaction kind of thing. That's what I'm seeing. And this could be around end of February, beginning of March zone. End of February, beginning of March, we're likely going to see some good reaction from the bears or some sell-off or some people taking some profit on this Bitcoin right now. That is what I am seeing on Bitcoin. That's exactly what I'm seeing. So thank you very much for watching this video. And if you do like this analysis, do subscribe. Do subscribe. Do subscribe. Like and subscribe so that you wouldn't miss any of our analysis in future, because we always make analysis like this all the time. I am Machiavelli Trader. Thank you for watching. Do have a happy new year. Welcome to 2020.